Hi there, it's Lydia Knox, artist, astrologer, and witch, and I'm here to talk about the Mercury retrograde that is happening now till February 4th, 2022. So I was just going to talk about the different things that are coming into aspect. And right from the get-go, Mercury in retrograde. So Mercury is the god of communication and thinking and computers and travel, thievery, and shenanigans. Shenanigans. Squares with Uranus and Taurus. So there's a sense that there's going to be a lot of confusion, a lot of upsets, lots of upheavals, lots of sudden changes, and it's really good to step back and review everything. Be very careful about any emails that you send out, any communication that you have to make, any talks that you have to make publicly. You may have to re-record, not mentioning any names, what you've said, because chances are you could lose track of what you're talking about or accidentally put your foot in your mouth. So all those things are bad. One of my friends calls it Mercury's stomping around with clown shoes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like Mercury has a sense of humor, so there's that. So it's best to, keep some kind of sense of humor. It starts in an air sign, so Mercury goes retrograde. It meets up with Saturn in Aquarius. So there's a sense of limitations, boundaries, rules and regulations, and general societal opinions about what people should do. And it squares with Uranus and Taurus. So that means that there's changes, sudden changes, sense of insecurity. Taurus relates to food, relates to possessions. So inflation, home prices, buying and selling a home, travel, and anything like that. You might encounter a lot of limitations and a lot of messy misconceptions and basically accidents. So be very careful around this time. The good thing that is happening with this Mercury retrograde is it's well aspected with Chiron and Aries. So I've always said that Chiron and Aries is kind of like the physiotherapist, right? It's not necessarily going to cure you, but doing those exercises, which are painful, is actually going to make you stronger in the end. So, and Aries is all about like a physical kind of approach to healing. So what are you going to do? What are you going to initiate during this time of confusion that'll help you stay calmer and help you stay more focused and help you fix yourself rather than going out and trying to fix other people, because that's all bad. Do not make assumptions. Do not jump to conclusions. Watch your words really carefully. I've been reading The Four Agreements, which is a great book, and it talks all about, all those things, doing your best. Those are the four agreements. You should check out the book. Don Miguel Ruiz, I think. See, this is a Gemini, Mercury retrograde, right? Yeah, okay, this is a prime example. But so just be very careful. Go over every paperwork that you have to do. If you're doing your taxes, double check your numbers. Make sure that you haven't made a mistake. Back everything up on your computer, and maybe work with a VPN. Don't connect to the Wi-Fi in a cafe, because Mercury also rules thieves. And I've been talking about that as well. So just be very careful with your information, right? And even your picture, right? So just, be very cautious around this time. Mercury is going to move into Capricorn on the 27th of January, and it'll slowly start to conjunct with Venus and Pluto. So this Venus has started to go direct at this time, so relationship issues will be able to be worked out. Some of the knots and snafus that happen in the beginning part of the Mercury retrograde might be able to be reviewed and to be fixed and ironed out. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn could mean that you may have to adjust your goals of what you want to accomplish. Some of those promises you made yourself in the new year of resolutions that you wanted to accomplish may need to be adjusted to how your life is rolling out around that time. So you may find that you may need to refocus and reevaluate everything that you need to do. And I've always been the one to say, use that word re all the time, because that is how to best navigate Mercury retrograde. However, with it meeting Pluto and Venus, there's because of Mercury is Hermes, and the Hermetic order is all about secrets and hidden things. And because Mercury meets up with Pluto, the Lord of the underworld, because Mercury is the only god that travels from the underworld to Mount Olympus and back again to the underworld. So in a way, we are revealed some secret things. If we've done the work and stayed out of trouble, we actually find secret gold in this situation. So sometimes it's like basically, a cliff crumbles apart, and it reveals some hidden stones or gems that were beneath the rocks that no one knew that they existed until there was some kind of disruption, and then suddenly you realize that you've hit gold, right? Or oil bubbling up from the ground, or something like that. Is very earthy thing, so it has to do with material stuff, and has to do with things that you can hold and things that you can actually accomplish, and it has to do with power too. And in relationships, maybe the power will be distributed for you. Maybe you'll learn to negotiate a new way of looking at your relationships with people, be it at work or your personal relationships. And maybe some new things will be revealed about you as well. So that's something that you can keep in mind during this Mercury retrograde. So as artists, we're going to be getting some brilliant flashes of insight in terms of our creativity. And this is a good time to step back and go back to an old project that you maybe let slide for a little while, or an old theme that you haven't touched on recently. And for me, that's been landscapes. I'm going back into the whole landscape thing and exploring expressionistic landscapes, and because they bring me a sense of peace and a sense of magic. And that's very Uranus and Taurus kind of energy, is when you think about it, it's new innovative ways to look at nature and to look at how nature affects ourselves magically and emotionally, right? So trying to shake things up a little, maybe move things around in your office or your studio, maybe learn something new. Those are the things that you can accomplish safely during this Mercury retrograde. So with that, I'm going to say stay creative, stay magical, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.